So this was a really interesting case that we had from a client. They came to us and they had a flat that was in a rental guarantee scheme. So what is a rental guarantee scheme? That's essentially an estate agent or maybe a housing association that says, right, we will guarantee you income from a property, and we will gain that income from the tenant directly. There won't be a tenancy agreement between you and the tenant. It will be between the company and the tenant. And what the company does and what's in it for them is that they will pass on an amount of the rental income to you, and they will take a bit of it as profit for themselves, and that's the business model. But that does present challenges for lenders, and lenders are not keen on that scenario. So that was one of the key challenges about the property. Another problem that another challenge to overcome was that the flat was in a block that didn't have what's called an EWS1 form. Now, obviously, since the Grenfell tragedy, steps have been taken to ensure that never happens again. And an EWS1 form is a certificate that looks at the cladding on a building to determine whether it's safe or not. Now, some lenders will lend where that form is and that certification is not in place, but not all of them will. So that was another thing that we had to be aware of and be careful of. And the other thing that we needed to look at with this property was the rental guarantee scheme. Owners of that scheme had taken the property, which was a 2-bedroom flat, and they converted it into a 4-bedroom flat and put an HMO license on it. So the client had been looking for about a year to try and find a lender that she could remortgage with. Really struggling, it was a big problem, and fortunately she came to us. Now, we did our investigations. Now, like I said, we can find lenders that will accept a flat in a block with no EWS1 form, but what they won't then also accept is a rental guarantee scheme in place in combination with an HMO, house of multiple occupancy situation. So the good news was the tenant was close to the end of that rental guarantee scheme. So we gave feedback to her that if she could exit the rental guarantee scheme, don't renew it, get the company to put the property back as it was, as a standard 2-bedroom buy-to-let property, then we could get a mortgage for her and make sure that the HMO license was no longer in place, so that that property was evidently just a standard buy-to-let. Brilliantly, she was able to do all of those things, and the absolute cherry on the cake was that her mortgage payments had been £2,300. We got that down to £700, which was a saving a month of £1,500. Who can say better than that? We were really pleased to help that client. So if you're facing any of those sorts of challenges, get in touch with us. We're Commercial Trust. We're a specialist buy-to-let broker. We'd be delighted to help you and get you through any humps in the road that you're facing.